We have a lot of geopolitical news we're also going to be covering. Ahmadinejad, the leader of Iran, joins China-Russian leaders at a summit. And there's a lot of big developments with Pakistan now getting closer to China. China coming out and telling the United States to not land their ships in Vietnam. Vietnam trying to cozy up to the United States now, and a lot of saber rattling. The Financial Times of London is reporting between the United States and China over Vietnam. Like World War I, the Japanese were on our side, and then in World War II, they were against us. Stuff flip-flops, so a lot of realignments happening globally. And we have joining us from Pakistan, retired Pakistani three-star general, known for heading the Inner Services Intelligence and leading and directing the war out of Pakistan in Afghanistan against the Soviet occupation that came after their invasion, and also serving and advising Benazir Bhutto and other prime ministers. General Hameed Gul, generalhameedgul.com. Is the website. And, of course, you see him on CNN, Fox. You see him all over BBC globally. I wanted to get him on today to talk about the deteriorating relationship between Pakistan and the United States that he predicted here last year and earlier this year, and to talk about the CNN report, CIA safe house owner in bin Laden raid arrested. Headline, CIA assets arrested. The Wall Street Journal reports inside Pakistan, the Pentagon now saying on a scale of 1 to 10, the relationship has deteriorated from a 7 to a 3. With Pakistan, more drone strikes killing more people. Months after Pakistan ordered the drones out, Yemen has ordered them out, bombing intensifying. This violates international law, but it's a huge escalation. General Gul, a lot has happened. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Alex. I'm available to you anytime you want me.
Well, thank you. General Gul, what's most important in all the big developments that are unfolding? Am I accurate in saying that tensions are escalating in a frightening way?
Yes, indeed, they are. And at a very critical time when America is about to start withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. And Pakistan is the only relief zone they have. And I don't know why they were hell-bent on destabilizing Pakistan. It can't be in America's interest. Then whose interest is it serving? I think the fears of Israel and the ambitions of India, these are not driving the American policies, unfortunately. And I think this is going to hurt the American people in the long term. So in order to satisfy other nations, who have always been like parasites, they have been feeding on the American goodwill, these countries' interests must not override the American public interest, American national interest. But unfortunately, this is exactly what is happening right now. And as far as the relationship between CIA and the ISI are concerned, they are pivotal to any kind of safe exit for America out of this region. And whatever influence America wishes to retain, because it is going to create a lot of problem. And I think important thing is that even a man like Henry Kissinger came out very strongly that please do not encircle Pakistan, do not destabilize Pakistan, because the more you do that, the more America will distance itself from Pakistan, and Pakistan will get closer to China, and it will indirectly get closer to Russia as well.
Well, General Gul, for new listeners who don't understand the geopolitical makeup, the United States is beginning a supposed build down, as they call it, in Orwellian terms, from Afghanistan. But even the Pentagon yesterday said that their whole strategy is, quote, shifting towards Pakistan, towards the east, towards your border, and the drone attacks are intensifying. And now we've seen these arrests inside Pakistan. What is the information you're getting, the intelligence you're getting with your connections in the Pakistani army and intelligence? What are these arrests of supposed CIA moles who were involved getting intelligence on the bin Laden reported raid?
It's not only that, Alex. I think the whole lot of picture has to be understood in its broader perspective. I think right from the beginning, and I was I think in one of your shows I had said this 9/11 was merely a pretext. It was an inside job, and it was a pretext to go globally for capturing the territories for the strategic concept of the American generalism. You know, that the harebrained, although it may be, but that was one objective. The other was to create space for the corporate America. Third was to contain China, and the other was that the immediate excuse was that they have to demolish the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. Today, a report has been published, and the main reason was women's rights. Today, a United Nations report has been published, and amazingly, it says that Afghanistan leads the list in the entire world, including Congo, etc. It is where the women's rights are being trampled upon. That means it has not had any effect whatsoever. As far as Al-Qaeda is concerned, Taliban had distanced themselves from Al-Qaeda a long time back. So what was the objective really? It was not Afghanistan. I think a lot of people here, including me, we thought that Pakistan was the target because Pakistan is nuclear. Pakistan has a very large army, a very good army. Pakistan is self-sufficient in food. It's not like North Korea. It is not like Iran. So Pakistan can stand on its feet, and Pakistan has China at its back. And they were to, this entire adventure was to support Indian hegemony over the region eventually, which is not working because the Americans' lives have been lost in these two wars. More than 6,000 Americans have been lost, and I think 4 times as many have been injured, and a lot of them have become psychological casualties, which is incalculable because no figures have been put out.
We're speaking with General Hameed Gul. Specifically, though, from the last time we talked to you a little over a month ago, has the situation gotten better or is it deteriorating on a faster pace? And you say you can't figure out what these national interests for the U.S. is. You say there's an interest for Israel or India. What interest do those countries have in destabilizing the region?
Well, I don't know. India really wants to reach out to Central Asia, and they have got to sort of get goodwill of Pakistan for that because Afghanistan is landlocked, Central Asia is landlocked, and you can reach only through Pakistan. So instead of bashing Pakistan the way it is being bashed, it is important that you settle the Kashmir dispute, which is a bone of discord in relationship between India and Pakistan over the past 63 years. And all the Kashmiris are wanting is a right of vote, which is at the pinnacle of the edifice of democracy. So why don't the Americans and Indians who claim so much that they are beholden to democracy, why don't they give them this right of vote? This is one issue which needs to be settled. As far as Israel is concerned, because it is an artificial state, and they fear that they have a short shelf life. This is very unfortunate, though it is not so, but this is what they believe. It is because their own religious prediction in the past, in their scriptures, they say a few things and it invokes fear in them, and they think as long as Pakistan is nuclear capable, one day Israel may taste the wrath of Pakistan or the Muslim world. But you see, here is a point that you have to understand. Netanyahu was made a very good offer by President Obama that let's go back to 1967 borders. And it was not an easy thing to be accepted by the Palestinians. But still, I think it was a reasonable formula, very, very wise suggestion. But the way Netanyahu turned it down, and he insulted the President of America in a way. But when he was received in the Congress, there was such an innovation on every word that he said. They would jump up, the congressmen, men and women, and it was a puppet show. It appeared like that he was a puppeteer and there were puppets in front of him who were coming up and down. I mean, if a small state like Israel was to steer the policies of America, and its destiny indeed, because that is where the destiny lies. So I can only lament the policymakers in America.
Well, General Gul, looking at India's reasons, I mean, you're saying they want to expand in the region. Why not just engage in business and trade? I guess they're still angry about the whole Kashmir war. But now going back a few weeks ago to the attacks on the Pakistani military bases by supposed militants. We have the CIA agent arrested a few months ago, reportedly trying to give chemical, biological, radiologicals to, quote, Taliban as a way to frame the government as leaking these materials. I mean, specifically, the Pakistani news is starting to report that Western intelligence is trying to foment al-Qaeda-type activities to then connect it to the Pakistani government. What can you say to that? What can you say to major newspapers with no evidence that claim that you might really be the leader of al-Qaeda? I mean, I know you've seen those quotes. What do you make of those statements?
Diabolical nonsense. They are trying to find scapegoats because they have failed so miserably. The American generals and the American and the Western intelligence services, they have failed their own people more than anyone else. So they are trying to find the scapegoat. They will come out with the evidence. I am here available. I have said that, okay, I am prepared to travel to America. In fact, I applied for renewal of my visa on 6th of May 2001, before the 9/11 happened. And they said that we'll let you know in 3 weeks' time. I have a written letter from the U.S. Embassy here. And those 3 weeks have not expired so far. Similarly, UK banned my entry in 2000, and I wrote to them, look, if I am wanted by you, if I am a security hazard for you, why don't you haul me up? Why don't you interrogate me? Why don't you send your own undercover officers to come and talk to me? If you have any doubts, any question, why don't you talk to me?
In fact, you said earlier in the year here that you're ready to get on a plane and come and testify before Congress right now. So if you are...
Exactly. I am prepared to do that, but they will not have because they don't want to listen to the truth. They know that I will speak in their idiom. I have worked with them. I worked with the CIA. We did a very good job. I have lots of friends. I hold nothing against the American people. In fact, I pity them because they are so gullible. They are so innocent. They are very easily taken for a ride. And then latest, Alex, what has happened is that my grandson, the son of my daughter, he won the Fulbright scholarship in his own right. He stood first in Pakistan, and he received a letter of congratulation from a person no less than President Obama himself. But when he applied for visa, not only the Homeland Security denied him the visa, but they asked the people who were concerned with the Fulbright scholarship to cancel his scholarship. What problem? I just don't understand. I think they are being very unreasonable, and this is how they make people who are their legitimate friends, they turn them into hostile entities against them.
Certainly. So you have family that has these, prestigious scholarships, and our government or Homeland Security that's seizing control of the states is saying, hey, don't even let them have that scholarship. When you were a guy in the 80s and early 90s, they talked about how great you were in our news. And just because you're against these wars, you're against these drone attacks on your country, you're a bad guy. Yemen, that's been the supposed ally of the U.S., has stopped the drone attacks. You're stirring up the country, and they say, we're not going to stop. I mean, how can the people running this government just randomly have drones flying around, killing whoever they want? I mean,
Yes, exactly. More than 2,500 people have been killed in drone attacks, and it has invoked the revenge sentiment in the tribesmen, and they have really given a bloodbath to cities and bazaars of Pakistan. No less than 35,000 people have been killed in this. 5,000 Pakistani soldiers have lost their lives in America's this futile war, which is not going to bring any result.